cards, Steve?
I did.
Okay.
Those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all Nerds International. With the hyphen.
And we are live. All right.
Excellent. All right. So, are we ready?
I think so.
Are we missing his Wells here yet?
Wells is.
I am here. You bet.
Hey, there he is.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
We're doing well. Your characters may not be, but we'll see.
Yes.
I gotta give you your cards here, Wells. Just a second now.
2, please.
Let's see how we can fill up the game tonight, shall we?
I got cards. Yay, I got cards.
So when we last left off, the cavalry had arrived. The firefight against the coalition had been a tough slog. You took down the UAR-1, you took down the Samus, you took down the majority of their Skelelots. The Cyberknight had charged out into the thick of the forest and had confronted the lieutenant and a number of the soldiers, and it had been relative stalemate until the cavalry showed up with regards to the rest of the grunts. Hold on a second there, guys.
It's indoor. There's a disturbing lack of speeder bikes.
Yeah, I'm looking for a tree village too.
Yep.
Lula, lula, lula.
Okay, that was Janice saying good night.
Good night, Janice.
So the cavalry showed up and chased off and ran down a number of the soldiers. The lieutenant, the sergeant, the Psystalker that was with her, a number of the grunts, they all retreated. And Sir Pentecost watched them run. Jack saw among the two vehicles that came with them, one of the vehicles looked incredibly familiar to him. And he could see the worn out and scratched styling of the dragon that had been painted on the side of his vehicle. It looks definitely like his vehicle, aged about 3 years, 4 years, and a little bit rougher for wear, but still a very serviceable vehicle. The cavalry themselves seem to be not wearing any uniforms as such. There are a few of them that do have kind of what you might call quasi-uniforms, but they're all riding either horses, hover bikes, or robotic horses. What were you guys wanting to do?
So where we last left off, they said this logging camp is ours.
This logging camp is ours. I'm going to get everybody to make a smarts roll at -2, except Sal, yours is going to be -4 because you have been in this area the least amount of time.
Very well then. So smarts.
Smarts, yeah.
Normally, when I fail this roll, I start monologuing. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold back. Whoa.
Oh, you all did really well except for Sal.
Well, I'm 14 years old.
Yeah. So, Jack, Oren, and Dorian, you are guessing, based on your remembering of the briefings that you've had at Castle Refuge over the last number of months, since you've been a part of Castle Refuge over the last 4 or 5 months.
The Imperial Navy.
There is not one visible DB among all the riders, if that's what you're asking.
No, what I'm asking, I guess, is DBs in the Coalition are, in essence, outlawed.
Yeah.
Would these people hunt and kill without cause, or are they... I don't like you, but I'm not going to kill you because you're different from...
It's not normal for them, but there have been stories, whether they're true or not, of the first apocalyptic cavalry showing up and wiping out entire villages of DBs. But not necessarily verified, but definitely something that's talked about.
So are they seen by the average citizen the same way that the Coalition is seen?
No, I mean, a lot of citizens have never seen them, especially in this area. I've never seen them personally and never encountered them. But the rumors of them and word of them have spread around the area. They're not viewed as the Coalition. That the Coalition is a kind of a government and whatever. These guys aren't government. These guys aren't looking at setting up a nation. They pretty much just roam the land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, let's hear what they have to say.
Nobody has any adventure cards that's just going to make them go away, do they?
Surprisingly, I have one that could make the situation much worse.
Surprisingly.
No, you don't, do you?
It's true.
Boy.
It's really, really true.
Boy.
All right. So their forces have been split. Some of the forces have chased off the Coalition, and the remaining forces are moving upon the encampment. Oren is there at the encampment. Sal is there at the encampment.
Yep.
Jack is just outside the encampment. And Dorian is in the woods just outside the encampment. They say to...
And say, well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your assistance with the Coalition.
As you begin to speak, riding up on a robotic horse is this person. She jumps down off the horse and she says, "Now, boys, is that any way to introduce yourselves?" And she says, I apologize for my men. My name is Sergeant Rodriguez, and we are the 1st Apocalyptic Cavalry.
Well, as I was saying, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your help with the coalition. We weren't really sure if we were going to be able to handle them or not.
Ooh la la.
Oh boy.
Yeah, don't let him speak at all.
We showed up just in time, by the looks of it.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just going to start walking into the group, like coming out of the wreckage and start walking out to near Orin, the Wanderer.
And I'll make my way towards the gate as well.
I'll make my way there as well.
All right. So everybody starts moving toward the gate, and the sergeant talks to you, Orin.
Yes.
She says, we were in the area when we heard the booms and the explosions. And we saw the coalition attacking. So we thought we would ride down and see if we could intervene. We're not here to save you, and we're not here to kill off the coalition. We're here to warn everybody.
I thought it was whoa. Warn us. Warn us of what?
This is a setup.
What's the setup?
This whole battleground. Everything that's going on here today. I don't know how they got to the coalition, but they've been goaded into attacking, I think.
Who got to the coalition?
There's a creature in this area that's manipulating this whole situation.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I apologize, but it seems the coalition has been famous for this, taking back and wanting areas, belonging to DBs and so on and so forth. So, how did you come across this? How did this all happen?
We've been tracking a neuron beast across the forest for the last 100 miles or so, and we think he's in this area, and I think he may have already influenced the coalition without their awareness. He feeds on death and destruction.
Oh. Yeah.
If this battle had continued and the slaughter had have happened that I thought might have happened, it would not have been good.
Wow. That's
So, what does a neuron beast look like?
They're very large, lots of tentacles, intimidating looking things.
Are we all up there yet, or who's there?
Yeah, you arrive just as you hear talk of a neuron beast.
Can we roll our survivals to see
Sure.
what we know about neuron beasts?
You sure can, yep.
I know not enough.
Oh, a neuron beast. Right.
Okay, Jack and Orin, you've heard of neuron beasts before. Jack, you've probably encountered one before. Very dangerous. A lot of mystical ability.
But for the record, it totally didn't suck out my brains.
It totally did not suck out your brains. Yeah, and they do feed on death and destruction. They kind of relish in that. It gives them. Seems like that's what they live for.
But you say they that they influence people. Well, how?
Well, you know they have mystical and psychic abilities. They can create illusions and control people's minds even.
So do I see? Well, Dorian comes up. He looks pretty banged up as he comes up to us, I assume.
Yeah. Well, Dorian's, he's hurting.
So I'll say, just 1 second, 1 second, Sergeant. I've got a comrade in need, and I'll just reach over and touch Dorian's shoulder and cast healing on him. And it costs me 3 power points.
Okay. You heal 1 wound.
Is that what you got, Dorian?
Sure is, boss.
Sweet. All right.
That's weird though. You rolled a 10 on that, or an 8 on that D10. Why did it only come up with a 5?
I rolled a 10?
You rolled a
never
D10
noticed.
and a D6, right?
Yeah.
And the D10 came up an 8.
Weird.
I swear to God, I watched it.
I didn't see it roll.
Neither
but,
did I.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
A neuron